Well, definitely when there's the budget for it in a few years, we can expand in other types of art forms. But for now, concept album for me means that it's a story arc,
Yep.
uh, and there's a birth and a death and a rebirth.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Zen Podcast. Make sure you don't miss an episode. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss a thing. Listen to us on the go. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all your favorite podcast platforms. And get social. Follow the journey by searching Zen on all social media. Another way to support the show is to leave a rating or review. It helps other fans find out about us. Thanks for tuning in and see you next time.
Hi there.
Hey Grace, how you going?
Good, how are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you for joining me for a chat about your upcoming tour of Australia, the debut of Vindicta. How's it feeling to
Yeah.
be heading our way?
Oh, it's so exciting, especially because it's our first tour and to do the first one so far away, and it's such a big beginning.
Now, the band is spread out all over the world, so how is rehearsals going to work for you guys?
We are rehearsing in Europe, specifically in Italy, because that's where we'll be flying from. So we're flying everyone in Milan, rehearsing about 6 days, and then we're gonna go to Australia.
How are you feeling about getting something so new? While it's a little bit old, it is brand new. How do you feel about getting something so brand new off the ground?
It's just the perfect beginning for it, especially because how the band started was also like a big bang, an explosive and spontaneous thing to happen. It was not thought out at all, and so to start off already overseas on a world tour is it's really exciting. It's perfect. It's what we need.
Yeah. Now, you've only got the one single out so far, so what can Australia expect out of your set list?
We're doing most of the set list gonna be what the fans know us from, so the previous music. So we're
Yep.
gonna do the majority of the repertoire, and then we're gonna have the new single and maybe one or two new surprise songs. So
Do you think that you might reimagine those old songs to fit in with this new?
the performance for
Yeah.
sure,
Yep.
but the song, because when we started Vindicta, we started working with the composer of the original composer of those songs. So we're gonna stay loyal to how they were first imagined, but the performance gonna be much more interactive, much more intense, much more personal because we're not, being controlled by anyone else. So we have direct creative control on everything.
Fantastic. So, as a father of daughters, I think it's
Yeah.
very important for women to have their voice and have control. What have you learnt over the last year or 2 years that you're taking into Vindicta that you think other women can learn to use, not just in the music industry, but in life in general?
The biggest thing I learned is to say fuck you, don't tell me what to do. I know who I am, and I don't need permission from a dude or an authoritative figure to go do it. I mean, I know it sounds harsh, but I think if you're in an environment where it was hard to do, you need that harshness to stand up again or to put strong boundaries. Uh, but especially in the metal world, because the nature of metal is rebellious. I think it's probably easier to do that. It's more respected to do so. So I encourage everyone to have that attitude, especially in a genre that encourages it. Maybe not so much because, it is male dominated, but authenticity is always rewarded in metal. So I think you shouldn't be afraid of doing that.
As you said, metal and music in general, unless it's pop, is very male dominated. We are
Yeah.
getting great women through in hard rock and heavy metal. Who are some of your favorite female artists?
Oh, right now a spirit box. Um, yeah, yeah, really good. Uh, for past music and what has not to do with rock and roll, I think Aretha Franklin was my biggest inspiration for singing. Um, Beyonce as a performer and businesswoman. Although I don't really listen to her music anymore. When I was little, for me, she was the ultimate, person to look up to, and not just because she's a woman, just as a person too. And yeah, right now, Metal Spirit Box, great.
Yes, Spirit Books, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Um, when it comes to, you said you're working with a composer, but also I'm sure that you're putting some of your flair into the newer tracks. When you're writing music, what comes first for you? A melody, a lyric, a riff? What works for you?
It's funny because like I've always really, really loved playing guitar, although I'm not a professional guitarist. So for me, usually a riff comes first.
Yep.
Because for me, metal was always about guitar, not so much about singing, although I am a singer. But for me, it was a passion for guitar. And so, yeah, definitely a riff first. And sometimes I start from the lyrics, and from the lyrics, I come up with a cool riff. Yeah, either lyrics or a guitar riff.
Do you sometimes sing a riff if you can't, as you said, you may not be a professional guitar player. If the riff is something that you don't think you can play, would you sing the riff
If it's
into
a
your
very
phone?
like if it's a very yeah, I either use my phone and literally hum it, or sometimes because I play piano, so if it's a very, symphonic or melodic riff, I'll play it on the piano. But if it's a simple like groovy riff, I'll do it on guitar. I play a little guitar enough to, write something simple.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, you said we may get some surprises in the set. Have Vindicta set out a plan for a full album yet?
Yeah, for by the end of the year, we're planning to have a full album out. We'll start with a few singles like we did for The Face of the Clown with music video.
Yep.
Our Face of the Clown music video is out next week on the 16th. And by the end of the year, we plan to have the full album released, which is gonna be storytelling album, concept album.
Fantastic. So does that mean that your 2027 is already looking very, very busy?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Now, coming out of the shadows of your previous project, what do you think the biggest misconceptions have been around you and the rest of the artists involved from
That
your
we
side?
don't know how to write, that we were just puppets in that project, but in real life we all have a very strong musical background. We all compose and we have a very strong creative vision. But of course, if you come from, a band like that, people assume, oh, I mean, what are they gonna do now if they don't have a producer behind them? But the reality is that we never started a band before, so of course people are not really familiar with our personal sound.
Now, you would have been doing a lot of work with the rest of the band via Zoom and via the internet. Has it been interesting to get used to the new personalities that will come out in Vindicta via the internet rather than in person?
So a lot of the personality of each character was built throughout the years of touring, but now that we have to do everything virtually before meeting the fans in person, we can, especially with aesthetic stuff, we can really define define what we want to go for aesthetically and sonically. So we have a lot more creative control since we can just put out things online, and it can give people a little bit of a taste of what they can expect.
Does it feel freeing to not be suppressed anymore?
It's so much more free, and you can also see how limitless possibilities are, and how much more beautiful art you can make when it's, authentic, and it doesn't come from a place of, oh, I'm gonna sell you product, and more of I want to create a beautiful experience, and I want to create beautiful visuals and sound, and uh like a real artistic project, and not just a quick cash grab
Now you
like it
said
was.
this, yeah, you said this album's going to be a concept album. Do you see things like books or visual graphic novels to go along with it, or just the music at this point?
Well, definitely when there's the budget for it in a few years, we can expand in other types of art forms. But for now, concept album for me means that it's a story arc,
Yep.
uh, and there's a birth and a death and a rebirth, and mixing the personal life with mythology, and so that the story can reflect the reality of what happened, but throughout the storytelling of, a theatrical act that we aim to be.
Do you have a favorite concept album in your collection of music?
No, I've never listened to like theatrical acts in metal or rock, honestly. So, no, it's something I'm doing without really any reference, if I tell you the truth. I know there's a bunch of people doing that, like King Diamond, and
Yep.
but I don't know. I've never looked into it. So I'm doing it because I've always loved cinema and studied the art of storytelling. I know people need a story to relate to something, and to connect even more. So for me, storytelling is really important in every art form. So I really want to incorporate it.
Now, touring's going to be totally different for Vindicta than the past. So, I was going to say to you, what's the one thing you need the most on tour? But it's going to be all brand new for you. So, what's the one thing you're looking forward to the most on tour?
The f- well, it's new in terms of doing it by ourselves. What I'm looking forward to is, when you're touring with good vibes and not,
Yep.
this dark cloud over you of I'm doing this because I have to, and it's more of an obligation than fun. And right now, I'm looking forward to doing it under our own control and feeling free about it. I think it's gonna be like touring for the first time.
Yeah. Now, with the visual aspect of the band, how long will it take to get ready for each show?
A week.
A week?
Well, the pre-production of everything took 6 months, but I mean
Yep.
rehearsals like a
Yep.
week. Yeah.
What about actually like putting the makeup on, getting ready backstage? Like how long do you think that process will take you?
So the first shows it takes a little longer than when you're 20 shows in, it takes
Yep.
like 20 minutes, but the first shows I would say 45 minutes just, to get used to the costumes, fixing every little thing that didn't get fixed in the pre-production, and getting used to putting the makeup on again.
Yep.
We've been doing it for the music video, but we also have more detailed makeup now, so but I think 45 minutes and then 25 by the end of the tour.
Sure. What about backstage? What would be if someone was to see you guys ready backstage and there's music playing, what do you think the music backstage would be like?
Probably Megadeth, just because it's like a common ground for each one of us. It's very different musical genres we grow up with, but Megadeth is something we all like. We love it.
What's your favorite Megadeth song?
Mm. Uh, which one is the one that I forgot the name? That intro with the bass. Da, 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 da.
Well, now you're gonna make me forget too. But
Wait, hold on. Peace cells.
oh, Peace
Peace cells.
Sells, yep, gotcha. I actually really like their take on Ride the Lightning off the new album.
Oh, they did a.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know.
yeah. Well, because Dave wrote Ride the Lightning when he was still in Metallica.
Right, right. I'm gonna listen to it.
It's really good. I
Yeah.
like it.
Okay.
So for you, this is a freeing experience. It's a brand new experience, while still, you're a veteran of knowing what you do and don't want in the industry. So, what advice, if a young girl came up to you at a show and said, "What's the best advice you can give me as I'm about to start this journey?" What would it be?
Don't say yes to somebody that doesn't offer you what you're worth just because you're afraid that you don't know what you're doing. So just trust in what you're doing, and if somebody's crossing your boundaries, don't say yes just because you're afraid of not making it. Stick to your vision, and because if it's strong enough, you don't need anyone to give you permission or give you the tools to do it.
Would you agree with me that the term worth doesn't necessarily mean money?
Oh no, absolutely not.
Great. Well, it's what, a week, 2 weeks? You're going to be boarding a plane very, very soon. Are you hoping to get out and see any of the sights when you're here?
If I'm what?
Are you hoping to get out and see some of Australia while you're here?
Yeah. The promoters promised us the tour to see the kangaroos. So I'm really holding them. They need to hold their promises because now we're all excited. But yeah, we have a day off and we want to go see around. So for sure.
I think that'll
Yeah, I've
probably
heard
ha
it's worth.
I think that'll probably happen here in Brisbane.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
We
Yeah,
have
I've
a
heard really.
we have a big park not far from the city that'll have kangaroos and koalas and everything.
I love it. Yeah, that.
So Grace, before I let you go, what would you like to let all your new friends in Australia know before I let you go?
That we can't wait, that we've heard that you're a super passionate fan base and that we're so happy that you're gonna be the first ones to witness Vindicta.
Grace, thank you for your time and we look forward to seeing you really, really soon.
Me too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye bye.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Zen Podcast. Make sure you don't miss an episode. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss a thing. Listen to us on the go. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all your favorite podcast platforms. And get social. Follow the journey by searching Zen on all social media. Another way to support the show is to leave a rating or review. It helps other fans find out about us. Thanks for tuning in and see you next time.